Hello, welcome back to Learn Physics. In today's topic, we are continuing with our current electricity chapter, and yesterday we were learning about the potentiometer, right? So today the potentiometer, the use of potentiometer. First we learned about the potential difference, how we can find out the potential difference, that we learned, right? So today we are going to find out how we can compare the EMFs of two cells using potentiometer. This also is there in your practicals. Okay, so practical exams, many questions can come from this part. So here, how this is a potentiometer which I am showing AB. Okay, many turns also you can show, that is depends. Okay, and from A we can connect it to the positive terminal, negative terminal, key. A rheostat will be connected, and from there we are connecting to the end B. Okay, and from here A itself I am connecting two cells. Okay, this is positive and this is negative. Here it is positive, here it is negative. Okay, here I am giving a three-way key. Okay, three terminals will be there for the key. Usually key means it will be having only two terminals. So this one, three terminals will be there in that key, and here and from the center you can connect it to a galvanometer, and from there here it is jockey. Okay, this is the experimental setup for finding out, comparing the EMFs of the cell. So here it is EMF E, here it is E1, and here it is E2. Okay, clear? So this is the potentiometer wire which I am showing here. From end A, this end A, we are connecting three cells. One is here positive, the other two are here, and here also only positive terminals are connected to the end A. It's very important. From end A, all the positive terminals will be connecting to the end A. So while you are doing the practicals also, you should remember all the positive terminals should come at one end. That end will be A. Okay, and then from negative, one terminal of the key, from the other negative another terminal, from the center galvanometer to jockey. So while how we can compare the EMFs? For that, first see here I am giving a key K, and K is closed. First we are closing the key K. Okay, this key is closed. Then we will be adjusting the rheostat. K is closed. Adjust rheostat to get deflection on both the sides, of galvanometer. Both the sides of so we can adjust the rheostat to get the deflection in the galvanometer both the sides, while keeping at end A and end B, while keeping the jockey at A and B. Okay, if I am keeping at A, the jockey is at A means galvanometer will be showing deflection at one end, and at jockey is keeping at the end B means galvanometer will be showing the deflection at the opposite side. That means in between at one end, one point, here we are getting a null deflection. Okay, so since it is a null deflection method, we will say it is very accurate method. Okay, so here wherever we are getting null deflection, at that time what will happen? Potentiometer and this potential drop will be the same. Okay, so first what I'll do is, after adjusting like that, then next this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. Next I will close this is the second step, and next third step is close the key between 1 and 2. Okay, so E1 is into the circuit. We will get a balancing length L1. Okay, we know that E1 is proportional to L1. E1 is proportional to L1. So last class we learned, right? So V is proportional to L. Okay, potential gradient is a constant. So E1 is proportional to L1. And next what we will do, without changing the rheostat, at that point again we will be closing 2 and 3. Okay, there again we will calculate the value of balancing length L2. That position also E2 will be proportional to L2. Potential difference EMF will be proportional to the L2 value. Now E1, this is 1, this is equation number 2, or I will write it as this is A and this is B. Then we can find out A by B. Okay, that is E1 by E2 is equal to L1 by L2. Okay, so by calculating the ratio of L1 and L2, we will be getting the ratio of E1 and E2. This is how we will be comparing the EMFs. Clear? So while comparing the EMF, one thing you should remember, this EMF should be, the EMF in the preliminary circuit or auxiliary circuit should be greater than the sum of these two EMFs. Okay, so usually Daniell cell and Leclanché cell will be giving it as a E1 and E2. Okay, so we will be taking a 2 volt or something over here in the EMF. Okay, if you are taking below that, it won't work properly because potential difference. Why they say balancing length means we know whenever the potential drop is equal to the potential drop in this potential drop of this length, then only that time only we will be getting the balancing length. There is no current flowing through the galvanometer. Okay, balancing length means when the circuit is closed, galvanometer is showing a null deflection. That means there is no current flowing through E1. Okay, so this potential drop across this wire will be, across this length will be equal to the potential drop over here in the E1. So that we can write it as E1 is proportional to L1 and here E2 is proportional to L2. E1 by E2 will be equal to L1 by L2. Okay, clear? So these are some of the precautions that you should take, you should consider over here, and next we can repeat the experiment by adjusting the value of rheostat. If rheostat is not provided in your lab, you can use your resistance also. Okay, and in some of the diagrams ammeter also given, that also you can use, it's not an issue. Okay, so that in our connection if it is not there also we can find out the values. Clear? So this is how we will be comparing the EMF of the two cells using potentiometer. If you are using a potentiometer, it will be a very accurate method. Okay, so potentiometer we can consider it as an alternate for our voltmeter. Okay, so we will compare, let's say potentiometer and voltmeter, how we can compare that. It's a very sensitive, sensitivity is very large in the case of our potentiometer. Okay, so next use is we can find out the internal resistance of a cell using this potentiometer. Okay. So next is to find out the internal resistance of the cell. Okay, this is also a practical question for you. Internal resistance. How we can find out using a potentiometer. So potentiometer I am showing like this, A and this is B, as we said in the previous case. See, auxiliary circuit or primary circuit is same. Okay, that is from positive, negative, and a key is here, and a rheostat is connected like this. Okay, this is connected to end B. Okay, this is rheostat and this is EMF E, this is K. Now from here I am connecting a cell, that is which is E1, and from here I am connecting it to galvanometer and then to jockey, and here it is connected to the resistance box and then to a key K1, and which is connected in parallel with the EMF E1. So we are going to find out the internal resistance of the cell. Okay, how to find out this internal resistance? For that, first we can close key. Close the key K and find out the balancing length. So this is the starting of the experiment. Before starting the experiment, what we should do? We should close the key, adjust the rheostat and find out the check whether you are getting the deflection on both the sides. Okay, if you are getting deflection on both the sides, then only you will be getting a null deflection properly. Okay, so while doing that this rheostat, while we are adjusting and keeping the both the sides, deflection is happening on both the sides. What is the use of that one? See, why we are doing so? Because fall of potential across this across this one, the wire should be greater than the potential drop in the external circuit. Okay, fall of potential in the potentiometer wire should always be greater than the potential drop in the external circuit. For that reason, yesterday while measuring the potential difference also I told the same thing. So while we are keeping here A and B and checking whether the deflection is happening on both the sides, why we are doing so? Because potential drop between the potentiometer wire should always be greater than the potential drop in the external circuit. Okay, so then first we are closing K and finding out the balancing length. Okay, balancing length is L1. So here E is proportional to L1. Now closing the K, next is closing next key. Which is the next key? K1. Closing K1. Okay, so an external resistance is coming into account, right? So their potential drop, here potential current is dividing. So here current will be dividing like this. Clear? So here V. Right, external resistance is coming into account, which is proportional to L2. Okay, now again we are finding out the balancing length. Balancing length is L2, and now while closing the key K1, again we are finding out the balancing length. That balancing length is L2. So V is proportional to L2. Tell you once more, first closing K and finding out the this balancing length L1. Next closing K1 and finding out the balancing length, which is L2, which is V, because here it is dividing. Clear? Now we can find out the E value, and E by V is proportional to L1 by E by Y will be equal to L1 by L2. So first we need to find out what is E and what is V. What is E? I into what is R here? External, see this here it is having a resistance of small r, you guess. So small r plus capital R. This is E and V equals I into capital R. Okay, so this is the total. Here it is E equals I into the effective resistance and V equals I into capital R. So we will be getting it as, instead of E, I can give as I into R plus R divided by I into R, which is equal to L1 by L2. Okay, so I and I will get cancelled. R divided by capital R plus 1 will be equal to L1 by L2. So this one we can write it as R equals L1 by L2 minus 1 into capital R. Okay, clear? So this is how we will be finding out the internal resistance. The final expression is L1 by L2 minus 1 into capital R. Okay, clear? So the resistance box only will be used over here. Are you remembering this circuit anywhere? So the same circuit only we used for finding out the potential difference. Remembering, right? So in yesterday's topic also we did the same circuit diagram. Clear? So this is how we will be. So these two are very, very important. Finding out the internal resistance and finding out comparing the EMFs. Potential drop also, it's important only. Potential difference, how it is finding out. Okay, clear? So these are the theory portions based on this chapter. Okay, so first we will do yesterday's checking concept question. Okay, in yesterday's question, figure shows the experimental setup of a meter bridge. The null point is found to be 60 centimeter away from the end A with X and Y in positions as shown. When a resistance of 15 ohm is connected in series with Y, the null point is found to shift by 10 centimeter towards the end A. Find the position of the null point of if a resistance of 30 ohm were connected in parallel with Y. Okay, so the diagram is given like here. This is the meter bridge. This is the meter bridge which is given. This is end A and this is end B. Okay, here it is given like a positive and negative, and here it is a cell. So okay, and here it is resistance X, and here it is Y. A resistance Y of Y is connected here. From here galvanometer and galvanometer to jockey. Okay, and this position is given as D. A and B is here. From B, and this is D. This was the question. Okay, so here the null point is found to be 60 centimeter away from the end A with X and Y positions as shown. So if X and Y are connected like this, null point is 60 centimeter. That means X by Y will be equal to 60 divided by 100 minus 60. Okay, that is X by Y equals 60 divided by 40. Okay, this one we got. Okay, next, when a resistance of 15 ohm is connected in series with Y, the null point is shifted by 10 centimeter towards the end A. So this is first case. Next is 15 ohm resistor is connected in series with Y. Okay, now X by Y plus 15, series, right? So the net resistance will be X plus Y. Now it is 10 centimeter towards shifting 10 centimeter towards end A. So what is L2 here? 50 centimeter. That is equal to L2. What is L2 here? 50 divided by 50. So we are getting it as X by Y plus 15 equals 1. This is equation number 2. Next we should find out find the position of the null point if the resistance of 30 ohm were connected in parallel with Y. Okay, so now X is given like that, Y equals 60 Y dash. Instead of Y we will be getting it as 16 into Y divided by 16 plus Y. Okay, sorry, not 16, 30. 30 ohm is connected in parallel. 30 into Y divided by 30 plus Y. Okay, this is the new resistance over there. So we will be getting it as X by 30Y into 30 plus Y, that is equal to L3 divided by 100 minus L3. This L3 only we need to find out. For that we need this X and Y values. So X by Y equals 3 by 2. X equals Y plus 15. So here we can substitute this. X by Y equals, this is 3, and X equals Y plus 15. That is equation number 4. Substituting 4 in 3, we will get it as 2 into Y plus 15, because 2X equals 3Y. Instead of X, I am giving it as 3Y plus 15. That is equal to 3Y. Now 3Y minus 2Y equals 30. So this 2Y I am taking it to this side and this becomes 30. So Y equals 30 we got. Then what is X? X will be equal to Y plus 15, right? So 45 centimeter. Okay. So we got the not X and Y are ohm resistors. 30 ohm and 45 ohm we got. Now we can substitute that value over here. So 45 into 60 divided by 30 into 6. What is y here? 30. Okay, now we will be getting it as 215, that is 3. That is equal to L3 divided by 100 minus L3. So 300 minus 3 L3 will be equal to L3, and we will be getting it as 300 equals 4 L3. So L3 we will be getting it as 75 centimeter. Okay, so this is how we will be finding out. This is a previous year sample paper question. So it's very easy to find out the final answer. If you know the x and y values, you should identify. So while seeing the question and seeing the circuit diagram, don't think it's difficult. You should understand it is Wheatstone's bridge and meter bridge. X by y equals L by 100 minus L. That one you should remember. Clear? So the next question is, so that is based on our potentiometer. AB is 1 meter long uniform wire of 10 ohm resistance. Other data are shown in figure. Calculate the potential gradient. That means V by L along AB and length AO when galvanometer shows no deflection. Okay, so here it is A and this is B, and here it is positive, negative, and the resistance is here. This is 15 ohm and this is 2 volt, and here it is a cell and here it is a resistance. Here it is galvanometer and this is to jockey. This is 1.2 ohm and this is 0.3 ohm. We should find out the potential gradient along AB. V by L along AB and AO. For that O, this is O. This is not J, this one given as O. Okay, we should find out the potential gradient along AB and AO. For that, first we will go for AB. AB means total length of the potentiometer wire. So here the whole, so this much only we will be considering. For that, first AB. Okay, to find out V by L of AB. Okay, so for that, first it's given like length of the potentiometer wire is 1 meter. Okay, so L is given as 1 meter and the potentiometer wire has a resistance of 10 ohm. So it has a resistance of 10 ohm. So in this circuit, this 15 ohm is there, 110 ohm is there. So what is the net resistance? Net resistance or effective resistance will be equal to this 15 ohm plus 10 ohm. That is equal to 15 plus 10, that is 25 ohm. Now we will find out what is the value of I. I, current flowing through the circuit, I will be equal to V by R. What is V here? 2 volt divided by resistance is 25. This much ampere. Okay, now we can find out the potential drop across R, AB. So potential drop across AB. How we can find out? V equals I into R. I we already got it as 2 by 25. How much is the resistance of the this wire? 10. So 20 divided by 25 volt. Now we can find out V by L. V by L equals 20 divided by 25 into 100 centimeter, right? So we will be getting it as, so here 1 by 125 volt per centimeter. Okay, clear? So next I'll give you one question for your check your concept. Write down, in a potentiometer, a standard cell of EMF 5 volt and of negligible resistance maintains a steady current through the potentiometer wire of length 0.5 meter. Two primary cells of EMF E1 and E2 are joined in series with same polarity and opposite polarity. The combination is then connected through a galvanometer and a jockey to the potentiometer. The balancing length in these two cases are found to be 350 centimeter and 50 centimeter respectively. Draw the circuit diagram. Find the value of EMFs of the two cells. Usually how I am saying, the same way I am telling today also. Please write down the question and try to answer. The EMFs you will be getting it as 2 volt and 1.5 volt. You can check whether you are getting it or not. If you are not getting, please convey that. Okay, so this is in last one video I told you about a test series which I am going to start. Okay, now onwards every Sundays it will be a test. Okay, it can be an MCQ or it can be it can be a fill in the blanks, or it will be any kind of questions it can come, because now your question pattern also changed, right? So it does MCQ can be asked. So next coming Sunday you can expect this test will be based on this current electricity chapter. So I am giving you 1 week time for preparation. Okay, so next week, next Sunday I'll be giving you the test, and you can just prepare for that, because this is what I can do from here. Okay, because the studies that you should only do, so 1 week time is there. You try your maximum and try to score good. Okay, so that's all for today. Next day we'll be coming with a new chapter. Thank you for watching. Bye.